What's up everybody, it's Wyvern here. In today's video, we're going to be continuing my top off-meta pick for each cup within the Mirror Cup, and today we're going to be moving on to the Twilight Cup, being the second cup in order. Now, to hop right into things, my top off-meta pick for the Twilight Cup is going to be Weavile. Weavile is an Ice Dark type Pokemon that wins about 40% of its matchups within the Twilight Cup. You're going to want Ice Shard as that fast move, and definitely Avalanche as that #1 second charge move if you're only able to buy one, but Foul Play makes a good second charge move and is able to give it coverage. Now he beats almost all of the poison types, including Venomoth, which can give a lot of poison type teams trouble, so that's a good check for him. I believe the top check for Venomoth is going to be Tyranitar, so Weavile is a good alternative if you don't have that Community Day Legacy Tyranitar. He is, however, going to lose to all of the fairy types and get deleted hard by Toxicroak because of that 4x weakness to counter. You'll see in the match videos how badly he loses to Toxicroak. I did a set of 3 matches against Wyzap7, who you've seen in a few of my other videos. He's been a huge help in helping to grow the channel. So let's hop right into those battles, guys, and see how Weavile performs against some of the top meta Pokemon within the Twilight Cup. So in the first match, I decide to lead with Weavile. Now, I don't for all of the matches, just because it does get hard countered by some Pokemon. I don't necessarily want to throw him out there to begin with, but we end up with a positive matchup against Skuntank. Now, we do have to keep in the back of our mind that Skuntank has Flamethrower, but remember, Weavile is going to beat the Poison-type Pokemon. So I only have Avalanche on this one, since I might not even be doing Twilight Cup. I didn't really want to invest in a Weavile I might not even use, so we get Avalanche for this video. Now, he's not going to shield this, and we're going to see just how much damage Avalanche can do. So Weavile is a very strong Pokemon. It's not quite as much of a glass cannon as Raichu, but it definitely is weak. Now, we saw it there. I tried to switch out, but just 3 hits from the counter is going to be enough to take out that Weavile. So that's not a matchup that you want to be in. However, notice it did still do a decent amount of damage to the Toxicroak before it got knocked out. I know some of those are going to be bubbles, but some of them were definitely Ice Shards. So that's one I probably should have shielded, but now he's going to switch out. So we're going to go straight for that Ice Beam and try and get a shield out of him before we switch out as well. We are not able to, unfortunately, so that really backfired. We're going to stick in with the Azumarill just because it's almost dead. That's one I probably should have switched out, but I didn't really have a great counter for the Tentacruel, so I just decided to stay in and hope that I could maybe get off another Ice Beam. Now, this is one we obviously have to shield. It's our last Pokemon, and we're down to, we're down to our last Pokemon, and we have 2 shields, so there's really no reason not to shield it. We're going to overcharge a bit of energy there, and then go straight for the Mud Bomb. And I have to say, I think Ground is my least favorite of the new minigames. I just can't seem to always get all of them. So we get his first shield out of him there. So we're going to have to take this one here. Oh no, my bad, we do have one more shield. So we're going to shield this one. He's going to go for that Acid Spray this time, so I think he was trying to shield bait us there. It worked. And like I said, we're going to overcharge a bit there before going for the Mud Bomb. So hopefully hit whatever comes in with a Mud Bomb after 1 or 2 more counters. So that is able to knock out that Tentacruel, and see we're just 2 counters away from a Mud Bomb. He unfortunately does have a shield, so he's going to end up shielding this, and I believe that's going to be the end of this match for us. So yeah, he's going to shield that there, and then he's just going to be able to feint us with counters. So he's going to take match 1, but let's hop into match 2 to see more demonstrations of how Weavile does. So game 2, I'm going to switch things up and lead with Azumarill, and he's going to come in with that Frostlass. Having not done much Twilight practice, I'm not really familiar with this matchup, so I'm going to stick with it and see how it plays out. But he's going to switch into that Golbat, so we're going to go straight for our Weavile, because that's going to hard counter the Golbat. Now Golbat, one of, if not the top Pokemon in the Twilight Cup meta. I do believe it's #1 on the PvPoke rankings. Look at Weavile just go to town on that guy. We are going to burn a shield here. We probably could have survived the Poison Fang, but just to make sure Weavile stays alive, since ultimately it is a Weavile video, wanted to make sure he's nice and healthy for whatever comes in next. So we're going to save that Avalanche for the next Pokemon. No reason to waste it on the Golbat there. So we're going to go ahead and drop it. Ends up being a Toxicroak, so I know as soon as I get this Avalanche, I'm going to want to switch out of here, because this is not a matchup that we can even remotely come close to winning. Unfortunately, we do have our switch timer up, so we can't switch since we switched into the Weavile, but we are going to be able to get to a second Avalanche, which he is not going to shield, and that is going to do a number on that Toxicroak. So he's 1 move away from fainting. Avalanche just decimated the Toxicroak. It took it from like full health all the way down. So that's one thing I like about Weavile. It's just very strong offensively. Now we bring in our Toxicroak to finish it up and charge a tad bit of energy. He's going to come in with the Frostlass, and I should have anticipated the Shadow Ball here, but I didn't, so I let it through. And that is not going to be good for us. So now we're down to just our Azumarill against just his Frostlass. So we're going to go ahead and go for that Ice Beam, try and burn his last shield there, overcharge a bit so he thinks it has a chance of being play rough, and we do get that last shield out of him. So now it's just a race to see who can get to Play Rough or Shadow Ball first. I believe we can take one Shadow Ball. I'm not sure how much Play Rough will do to him, but we do have that one last shield to burn, so that does give us the upper hand in this matchup. So right now I'm just going straight for Play Rough. Ice Beam obviously not going to do much to Frostlass, and I believe it's at low enough health for Play Rough to be able to knock it out. Fairy is another one. I'm not really good at the charge move. I mean, I got all or most of them there, but that's not the one I'm most practiced with, so that will feint the Frostlass and give us match 2, onto the rubber match. Game 3, we're going to mix things up once again and lead with Umbreon. It's a pretty tanky Pokemon, and hopefully he leads with the Frostlass again, which he does, so we're going to force that bad matchup, sorry, into the switch. And right here is when I realized I don't have a counter for Toxicroak other than Toxicroak itself. And while I was making that decision, he was able to charge up energy, so we're going to have to shield this first Mud Bomb, because if we lose our Toxicroak against his, we lose this match. So we have to make sure that we're able to take this Toxicroak out. So we're going to go ahead and hit his with a Mud Bomb, obviously burning that first shield. He's not going to let this first Mud Bomb through. And we do get the Excellent on it, so that's nice. Doesn't really matter though, since he's shielded. And notice we're doing just a bit more damage to him because we have higher CP and IVs, so that's going to play in our favor. We're going to shield this, like I said, have to stay alive here. So we're not going to let that Mud Bomb through, and we are able to get to one more of our own. So I might have been able to feint him with counters there, but I'm not about to take that chance just because we really need this guy alive. So we're going to go ahead and go straight for that Mud Bomb there, and then I'm just hoping we're able to hit whatever comes in with a Mud Bomb before it's able to knock us out with fast moves, and it does end up being that Tentacruel, so we're able to get to a Mud Bomb, which would do a good chunk of damage to the Tentacruel if he lets it through, but I believe he is going to shield this one, unfortunately for us. Only able to get to the Great there. Really don't like the ground charge attack. I know I said it once, I'll say it many times. I cannot stand it. It's very difficult to get Excellent for me. So here, knowing he has the Frostlass in the back, and that I need the Umbreon to take care of that and soak any Shadow Balls that it has, we're gonna come in with the Weavile. I know it's not the most ideal matchup, but I'd rather it deal its damage and get as much of its energy out of the way and deal a good chunk to the Tentacruel and then clean up with Umbreon, as opposed to the Tentacruel hitting Umbreon with a bunch of defense lowering and then having him come in with a Shadow Ball on the Frostlass to finish it up. So while it's not the most ideal matchup, Weavile's going to work out, and thankfully we are able to get to that Avalanche before he's able to knock us out. We took 2 Acid Sprays to the face, and we're almost down to 0 health. Avalanche, not going to do a ton of damage there since it does resist it, but it came in and it did its job. It got that Tentacruel pretty low. So Umbreon is able to come in and finish it off with just fast moves, meaning he's down to 0 shields, and we have a Dark Pulse left for his Frostlass that he subbed out initially. So this will take the Frostlass all the way down, or at least very close to 0 health. So it's down into the yellow, and we're going to be able to finish it with just fast moves, hopefully before it gets a Shadow Ball off, and we go. We got it. So perfect. We're going to win these matches. To close out today's video, I'm just going to say I really like Weavile in the Twilight Cup. I know it's only ranked 30th on PvPoke, which is why it's my top off-meta pick, but it's one, especially if I was to buy that second charge move on it, I would seriously consider running it. Now, I know I have Frostlass already with the 2 charge moves on it from Tempest and Kingdom Cup last go-around, so that might be one I would use instead, but Weavile is just kind of up there in consideration because its weaknesses, in my opinion, are a lot less common than the weaknesses of Frostlass. There's a lot of Dark-type Pokemon in the Cup and a lot running Bite that are just going to plow through Frostlass, whereas Toxicroak is really the only hard counter to Weavile. Like I said, it does lose to the Fairy types, but as long as you avoid Toxicroak, Weavile is going to be a pretty strong Pokemon offensively, so I think it's one you guys should definitely consider. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe and share it on Twitter. But until next time, guys, I am Wyvern.